Well, hello, Bumblebee, and thank you so much for being here today. One more episode. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. One more episode for this podcast, Cafecito with Vivi, and I am your host, Vivi. In today's episode, I have really interesting topic that I want to bring to you, and I'm going to give you five important keys or key points for why do I feel that this is a good idea for you to know. And I'm talking about treasury bonds or government bonds, savings bonds. It has different names, but they're treasury bonds. And before I continue, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you are listening this on podcast, if you can please follow me and give me your most honest review, I will truly appreciate it. So without further ado, let's continue to this topic today. So why do I feel that you should give more attention to treasury bonds? Well, treasury bonds are as safe as as you can because they're government-backed investments, and really they're very versatile, and you really can actually have not like any other savings account that a regular savings account, it really is not going to give you a lot of gain, like interest rate on return. So you're not going to get a lot of return in your savings account, but in a treasury bond you can get a little bit more than a savings account, and it's also backed by the government, which means that let's just pretend that you are putting $1,000 in a treasury bond, and for some reason, God forbid, the economy goes really, really bad, and they cannot pay you the interest rate that they promise. So, which by the way is undocumented, so they still give it to you. But for some other extenuated circumstance, they're not able to provide that interest rate. You still will have the $1,000 back. However, because like I said, it's government secure, so that means that by contract, if they promise at the time that you start that investments are 4%, for example, then you will get that 4% in return. So they're very, very, very secure. And I highly recommend these type of bonds for that reason, because they're secure. But I like to call having a treasury bond account open, I like to call this as insurance fund or a strategic fund. So by the name, right? Strategic. So there is a strategy there. So there is a purpose for that. There is an intention for you to use this. And insurance, because let's just say, for example, that you are investing in the stock market and very risk, and you're taking the risk, which is good, is awesome, right? But at the same time, if you're gonna do it, then I will suggest you to have an insurance for that, those investments that you are doing, and treasury bonds can bring you that. They are also great gifts for children, which is one of my favorite things actually. So they are also working as a retirement income, and that is something that you can also look into it. Now, as a strategic fund for holiday savings, well, let's just say that first of all, it is steady, it is a fixed return, and it just makes a great tool for predictable savings goals like the holiday spending, right? And like I mentioned before, if you have a savings account in the bank, well, the savings account is not going to give you as much return, so why not have your money where you can also get something in return for yourself, right? And have a little bit more. They're also like, let's just say, you know what, you have, let's just say that your holiday expenses are $1,000, right? And let's just say that you say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna put $1,000 now in treasury bonds so I can have the $1,000 and more, depends on the return that you have promised at the time of investment. Um, so now I know I'm gonna have more, so I'm gonna do this, right? So you have your $1,000. Let's just say that maybe your job give you a bonus, maybe I don't know something, and you're like, well, you know what? I have extra money, so I don't need those $1,000 for now. So what should I do? Guess what? You can actually roll over. You can roll over these investments yearly, and you can build up even a bigger holiday fund, because maybe in 5 years, right, you're planning on taking a holiday vacation fund, and maybe like a bigger account, right? So you can actually roll over if that's what you desire. Now, these are just ideas. I'm not saying that you should do it exactly this way, but these are just ideas. And of course, like I mentioned before, treasury bonds offer better, much better return than a typical savings account that the banks provide us. So really, you will have more for the holiday expenses. So the second tip that I really like about treasury bonds is the security and peace of mind in your portfolio. So these the stock market is really high reward way to do your investments, but also comes with a higher risk. So treasury bonds are stable, they're lower risk assets, but also offset the stock market volatility. So these are really good ideas for you to have that safety net, that insurance net that I was telling you about when you are investing in the stock market, which are really, really a good idea as well. Now, let's just say that, like I mentioned before, the economy, right? We have, and especially right now, if you think about this, every single when we have a change of president and we have new campaigns and we have a new president, there's always so much uncertainty in the economy. So guess what? Treasury bonds actually gives you that security. So it's like that insurance policy for your portfolio, right? And it just helps balance the risk that you are taking in the stock market, if you are taking any risk. Now, if you're planning on hold the bonds until maturity, they're gonna provide also stable, steady income stream that is gonna just give you that certainty instead of the WhatsApp. How the stock market goes wild, sometimes up, sometimes down. Well, this and the long-term stability will provide you that. Now, I'm gonna tell you a story, and that a customer that I had when I was working at the bank, and she was like, she had a really clean state on her finances, right? And then she called me because she received a deposit and she couldn't remember where the deposit came from. So finally she figured out that she was like, oh, I spoke with my financial advisor, and part of my retirement account I put it on treasury bonds. So now every 6 months they're gonna, like, I'm gonna get income from these bonds. So I'm getting that income in my checking account. Obviously, I'm not saying that this is the best way to do it. Well, not the best way. I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it, or like, I'm not forcing you to make a decision, but I'm just giving you some ideas on what is possible that you can have, because these are very Treasury Direct is for everybody that wanna open an account, as long as, of course, you have a social security number or tax income. So there's some requirements into it, to those requirements to open an account. But I'm just saying that it's another idea that you should consider. And obviously, like always, I will recommend for you to talk to a financial advisor, financial planner. What is the best a step for you into this. So yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, these are things that you can think of treasury bonds also as income generators for retirement accounts. Now, another thing that also one of my favorite things is that you can use it as a gift. And this can be a unique and thoughtful gift for your children or grandchildren. And you really, mostly we parents, what we do is that we teaching them about saving. And of course, saving is a great thing. But I think that teaching them about investing is also a good idea, a good perception for them to see. And this were one of the, I will say that the greatest thing that I had done for my kids when I gave them treasury bonds as a gift when they were kids. And now my two oldest, now they have access to their account, right? But the bonds don't expire, don't mature until they're like 30 something years old. So, but I think it was a really good a strategy on my part, that knowing that my kids have that insurance as well. And of course the educational value that they're gonna receive when oh look, my grandma or my mom, my dad gave me this bond. So they start getting older and they start listen to these things about investments and savings, and they start like connecting the dots. Oh, my mom or my dad, my grandparents, they really thought that it was a good idea for me to have my first investment. So that's what they did for me. So let me look into this. And, so they start getting curious, and they're learning more from you, and they can ask you questions. And even if you don't know as much, the fact that once you start getting into this and start reading, because I always suggest, okay, go on the treasurydirect.gov and start like learning about it. And they have different um, points that if you are a new person investing, okay, this is where you can start gathering information. If you are in the mid-size investing, like you have some knowledge, okay, this is another part. And if you are in advanced investing, okay, then go to this other part. So the website really provides all the information. And I really think that it's a great gift for your kids as well. So also another thing that I like about Treasury Direct for bonds is that they're very accessible for everybody. So you can start with $50. Some of like my kids, I started with $50. Like it was a $50 bond every time I was able to purchase one for them. You can do $100, and that the T-bills, I think their starting point is to $100. So they have different things that you can look into it, but this actually makes accessible for most people. So for most people that wants to actually get their hands into this and learning about this, so this is another option that you can have. And you can also use it as a short term, long term. There are different options, but you can always align that maturity date for the specific goal that you're planning, like the holiday or the retirement account as well. Now, and obviously, I'm not saying that all your investments should be in this, but really is part of the having a diverse portfolio, right? Once you have that diversity in your portfolio, then you know that bonds are included into it. And like I said, go onto the website, go talk to a financial advisor, go talk to a financial planner, and let's just think about this, and let's start learning about all these things. So I'm just bringing up to you the first insight about it, but I highly suggest you for you to start doing your own research. So as a summary, you can understand the versatility of the treasury bonds, and it's a great for holiday savings tool, portfolio stabilizer, and retirement income source, and also gifts for children. So I'm going to be really repeating myself into this, but I really think it's important. And repetition is the mother of all learning. But I really suggest you um, to get more knowledge into your own. So obviously, of course, I suggest you to visit treasurydirect.gov so you can have more information about the treasury bonds, and you can also speak with a financial advisor, financial planner, so you can learn more about this. And if you have any other person or books, or even if you go on YouTube, there's so many people that talks about investments, and start getting yourself into this knowledge, because it is important. Remember, having the knowledge is what is gonna take you to the next level. And how you gonna become friends with money if you don't even know these terms, if you don't even know about these options that you have. So it's just so you can have this consideration as well, that it's not just income that comes from your job and a 9 to 5, for your business, for a side hustle, for whatever, right? You can have income from different options, which also one of them is the investment part. So thank you so much for listening today to this episode. I hope you have enjoyed. And well, even though my schedule has changed, so I'm not able to do videos. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be able to be back on videos, but now I have to record this podcast audio in some other timeline, and my own schedule. And holidays are coming, so it's just gonna get a little bit more. There's things get complicated at home, but I'm still here, and you will see that there's gonna be more coming up to you. But I hope you have liked this. Please like this episode, share it with your friends, leave me a comment, and also leave me a review on the podcast. Follow me if you have not done so. So thank you so much for being here, and remember, it's a baby thing you wouldn't understand. Bye.